We begin in Bangladesh, where the military has taken control of the country after its long-term Prime Minister resigned and fled to neighbouring India. At least 109 people were killed in violence on Monday. That's the highest number killed in a single day since protests began in early July. Demonstrators poured onto the streets to celebrate Sheikh Hasina's departure. Students began protesting last month when a job quota system that favoured children of war veterans. In an address to the nation, the army chief urged people to trust in the military to restore calm.
The country is witnessing a period of revolution right now. I had invited all the leaders of political parties. They came here and we had a good discussion. We have decided to form an interim government. Through the interim government, the functioning of the country will take place. I'm giving you my word that we will bring justice for all the killings and the injustice that has happened. Have faith in the army, the armed forces.
I expect the new government will run the country with honesty. Therefore, the people can live and sleep in peace. This is my only request and desire.
I think what happened on Monday, the vandalism, it was not appreciated. The palace belonged to the people like us. We will have to pay for reconstruction.
OK, let's get the latest now on the streets from Tanvir Chowdhury, who is in Dhaka. And we understand the Army Chief is meeting with student coordinators. What assurances are student leaders wanting from the Army right now?
Well, one thing the student leaders have specifically mentioned, they don't want the Army to be in charge. They want an interim government to be in charge. They don't want to be any member who are controversial from the present government or any other political members that might be controversial in that interim government list. They also demanded the president of Bangladesh to dissolve the parliament by today, local time 3 p.m., which would be 9 GMT. If it doesn't, then they said we'll go back to the street and we'll give our ultimatum. So these are some of the key points they made, and it has to be seen what comes out of the discussion with the Army Chief. Obviously, there are going to be some haggling about who should be there, but the students state it has to be something that we can reform the institution and have a new type of government and not have a politicized system back in. And another issue they raised is the election to be here very soon after the interim government come to power. So everyone is anxiously waiting what comes out of the meeting with the Army Chief of Staff and what will be the outcome, whether the army will accept that, whether civil society and other political parties will accept the students' list and their ultimatum.
So Tanvir, if the students don't get what they want, they're pledging to go back out on the streets at 3 p.m. in the local time. Can you just give us an idea of who they've actually put forward to lead this new interim government?
Well, it's quite public now. They put forward Nobel laureate Professor Mohammed Yunus as their choice to head the interim government. He has accepted it. It's not officially announced as such, but it's pretty much public news. And he's back in Bangladesh. He said the Bangladesh is free and liberated in an announcement. And that would be a welcome probably from the Western world as well as particularly the United States. But the general public have high respect for him. He's a person who brought Nobel Peace Prize to Bangladesh and would be generally accepted by most members of the public and, you know, even the political parties. So that's what is expected right now. We'll see how the army reacts to that and the civil society and those in political party reacts to that.
OK, we'll keep a close eye on if student protesters get what they want or they head back out onto the streets in around an hour's time. Thanks so much, Tanvir Chowdhury, for us in Dhaka. Mohammed Shahin is Assistant Director of the NGO Young Power and Social Action. He joins us from Chittagong in Bangladesh. Thanks very much for being with us here on Al Jazeera. Now, before we talk about what could potentially happen next, can you just put into context how remarkable was yesterday for Bangladesh?
Wow, it's one of the very great revolution that happened in last 3 weeks in Bangladesh. And yesterday, the students who started this campaign, this movement, they got the achievement because the Prime Minister, she has resigned because at the beginning, the students has 9-point demand, but as the prime minister was refusing and not taking any action, so the students later put the issue in one point demand, that is the prime minister has to step down. So finally she resigned yesterday, and the unfortunate thing is that none of the prime minister of this country has ever resigned like this way, the way she has to resign yesterday. I mean, the way she has to flee to other country. I mean, none of it's never happened in the history of Bangladesh as the way, because the way she left, it's a kind of the experts are saying that she just destroyed her party. She destroyed the great image of her father as well, and yes, people are just blaming her and her government for all those negligency and all those refusal of the demands from the students.
Okay, just on this, let's move to what is potentially happening today. We know the Army Chief and coordinators of the student protests are meeting. The student protest leaders have already put forward Nobel Peace Laureate Mohammed Yunus to lead an interim government. What more can you tell us about him? Is he a popular choice, and will the army listen?
Of course, Dr. Yunus is one of the very much popular person in Bangladesh, because he's the only Nobel laureate that we have. He's the only great international figure we have. So yeah, the students has choose him. So because the movement was carried and continued and succeeded by these students, and now the students are saying that Dr. Yunus has to lead the country. So if the students are saying that, so we also agree whatever the students are saying, because they have the legitimate right to choose their leader, because they fought, they sacrificed. They have did all the movement, and it's all credit goes to all the students of Bangladesh who has fought for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah. The other big issue that remains here, I mean, 109 people, I believe, at least, were killed just yesterday alone. The Army Chief has said that they're going to investigate all of the killings that have happened over the past month or so. I mean, how important is that for the country to move on and bring closure to what's been a remarkable month?
We have respect for our army and military, and we have respect to our all forces, and we hope that all the killings that happened in last several weeks will be in justice, and that's what the army chief said. And now the immediate action the army has to do to form the interim government, and there is so much reformation is needed right now, because the law order situation has to control. The election commission has to be reformed, and there are so many government regulatory body has to be reformed, because the students are saying that there are so many issues which is not going as per the interest of the people of the country. So that's why they have demanded all those points, and now all those reforms should be taking place, and that's how the country can face get the success of this movement, because we need a responsible government. So the interim government should reform all the institutions which will lead us to a responsible government, or in a very much democratic process in future, which was not happening in last 16 or 20 years.
OK, we'll be keeping a very close eye on how things unfold in Bangladesh. Thank you so much, Mohammed. We really do appreciate your time and your insight. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.